Well, good afternoon to you. And why do I say good afternoon? Well, because you probably sleep till noon, so it's probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you're watching this, or later, 11 o'clock p.m. So today we're finishing our lesson on graphing. Yesterday we started graphing two lines, which is called a system, and today we kind of expand more on that. So there's 3 situations that could happen today when you graph. Okay, the first situation that could happen is that you have intersecting lines. And that's what happened on yesterday's lessons. Both of our lines, they crossed, and where they crossed was the answer. Okay, so you're already familiar with that one. Today I add on 2 more situations. Right here, you are going to have parallel lines. And parallel lines, the answer is no solution. That is the answer. Now, how do I get no solution? Because parallel lines never cross, and therefore, since they never cross, there is no answer, because the answer is where something crosses. Okay? You'll see as we go along. The third situation is called coincide, and that basically means you're graphing 2 lines, but it's a line on top of the other line. And the answer is always where they cross. And where do they cross? Well, if you look, coincide, the same line, is going to cross all the way down the line. So there's lots and lots of answers for that. And we're going to write, for the answer, we're going to write infinitely many answers. And that's the part that you would box in. Infinitely many answers. Okay, so I'm going to go through this again real quick, because that's going to be the first question on your homework. Describe the 3 situations that could happen when we're graphing. You could have intersecting lines, and the answer is that point right there. X coordinate, Y coordinate. If you have parallel lines, and something I want you to know about parallel lines is they're going to have the same slope. We already know that, just refreshing your memory. They have the same slope, which means they have the same slant. When you have parallel lines, the answer is no solution. And then coincide line, the answer is going to be infinitely many answers. Now, let's do 2 of these. All right. Example 1. 4x minus 5y equal 10. And then we've also got y equal 4/5 x minus 2. Well, you know, if you're graphing, you need to know a formula. And that formula that you need is called slope-intercept, which is y equal mx plus b. So you want to get your problem to look like that. What does that mean? Well, the y needs to come first. And so you're going to keep your y, negative 5y. And then the next thing you need is the equal sign. And your x needs to come behind the equal. So you take your positive 4x and move it right there. So it becomes a negative 4x. And the plus b is this number. and that's a positive 10. Now, you have negative 5y equal, and it's supposed to just be y equal. So how do you get rid of that front number, that leading coefficient? You're going to divide by whatever that number is. So you're going to divide by negative 5 all the way across. And we're going to reduce if we can. These look the same, so I can cross them out. Oh, a negative over a negative reduces down to a positive. 4/5 x. A positive over a negative, signs are different, reduces down to negative 2. Now, the slope is the number in front of x after you get y equal. So your slope is 4/5. Now, slope needs to be a fraction, and this time it is. But if it's not a fraction, you need to put it over 1 because you got to graph it, you got to go up and over, up and over. Your y-intercept is negative 2. Now you're ready to graph this line right here. So you start with the y-intercept. So you know you go the y-axis and you go to negative 2. That's a positive 4 over a positive 5. So you're going to go up 4 and then right 5. And do this as many times as your graph will allow you to. I'm not going to be able to do it one time because I'm going to run off my graph. So up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to draw the straightest line. I need a yardstick, so I'm just going to have to do it the best I can because I don't have a yardstick. Colton Holloway, you did great on your homework. Already got he's always caught up. He's already done lesson 16. Oh, wow, and already sent it to me. It was nice and neat, and it crossed at the right place and everything. Even showed it to Mr. Cagle. He's looking forward to having you in class. All right, now let's do this other one. Oh, it's already y equal mx plus b. So your slope is 4/5, and your y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, so again, you're going to start with your y-intercept of negative 2, and you go, oh, I already got a dot there. Well, that's good. And then you're going to go up 4 and right 5. Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? So we're going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What situation do I have? Are they intersecting lines? Well, they're intersecting all the way, really. Okay, but that's not your situation. Are they parallel lines? No. It's the same line on top of the same line, which is called coinciding lines. But what answer do you write down? You write down, look, they intersect all the way down. Anybody have time to write down all these answers? No. So what you do is you write infinitely many answers. It crosses over and over again. Infinitely many answers. And please box that in close to your graph. And you know, graph paper is what you really need, but if you don't have graph paper, you can make it work, kind of like I did. I got me a ruler best I could, measured it off. Okay, now let's do example 2. All right, gonna have to erase my graph. Got to bear with me. Oh, the pizza's ready. Miss Cagle did not cook tonight. Okay, so example 2 is like this. Negative 5x plus 10y equal negative 20. And then your other one is y equal 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, so again, you need slope-intercept, and that is called slope-intercept, and it just tells you what your problem needs to look like before you start graphing it. So here we go. Keep my y. My x is in the wrong position. It's supposed to be right there. So positive 5x minus 20. Divide by 10 because you have to have y equal. Can't have a number in front of y. Cross those out. And as I'm bringing this down, I'm reducing it. 5 over 10 reduces to 1/2. 5 will go into 5 one time. 5 will go into 10 two times. So 1/2 x minus 2. Now, so what is my slope number? Well, slope is the number in front of x. Well, what's the abbreviation for slope? M. So slope is 1/2. The other number is called your y-intercept. So we're done with that one. Now let's look at this one. I like this one. It's already in order. Y equal mx plus b. So you can see that your slope is 1/2 and the y-intercept is 4. Now, bear with me as I draw the best graph I can, okay? All right. Okay, there's my x and y axis. And then make my hash marks as equal apart as possible. And you're thinking to yourself, I don't think this is going to work out for you. I think it will. Especially if you use your imagination. Okay, I'd appreciate it if you put your numbers on your graph. Because I don't ask you to do very many graphs. I think I do maybe 3 today. Okay. Now, so I'm going to graph this one first. What do you graph first? The slope or the y-intercept? The y-intercept. So the y-intercept lands on the y-axis. And now my slope, it's positive over a positive. So up 1 and right 2. So from this point, up 1 and right 2, and I'm going to do that again. Up 1 and right 2, and you know, at least 3 times, unless it just runs off your graph. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to draw a straight line. Oh, good job. And if you miss your dots, you know what you do. You just kind of make them bigger. Ha ha ha. Okay, now for this one, the y-intercept is 4 on this one. And I wanted to go up 1 and over 2, but I'd run off my graph. But we know we can reverse it and still get the same line. So instead of up 1, I'd have to go down 1. Instead of right 2, I would have to go left 2. Okay, so the plan is to go down 1 and then left 2. Okay, down 1, left 2. Okay, maybe that's good enough. All right. Up. Is it good enough for you to see that they're parallel lines? Hey, I already knew that. How did I know that? Because look, parallel lines have the same slope. They both had a slope of 1/2. But the y-intercepts are going to be different. Because if everything was the same, the slope was the same, and the y-intercepts were the same, then it would be the same line. Same information makes the same line. But if you just have the same slope and the y-intercepts are different, that's parallel line. Well, what do you write? Well, the answer is where it crosses. It doesn't cross. So what's the answer? No solution. So somewhere close to your graph, write no solution. And that does it for this lesson. Now I want to go back to a couple of lessons ago where I throw exponents on you as a review. Okay, so I've had a couple questions about them, and I'm going to do one of them for you just to refresh in your memory. All right, so this is kind of like the bonus round, and the question is, and you know I had it written right here so that I could work it out for you. So I'll be right back. Good thing I keep my handy dandy notebook really close and organized. It's all in order. So this was actually lesson 15, number 7. And it looked like this. Open parentheses, 2a to the third, b to the negative 2, close your parentheses, raise to the third power, divided by b to the fourth. Boy, it's been a while since we've worked one of those. Exponent rules. So here we go. It's the power rule. And you go, what's the power rule? It's when you have an inside exponent and an outside exponent. The rule is you multiply them. Don't forget to do your number. It also has an exponent on it. So here we go. 2 to 1 times 3 is 3. A to the 3 times 3 is 9. And B, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 over B to the 12th power. Keep going. Now that was called power rule. You multiply your exponents, you lose the parentheses. Keep going. What is 2 to the third power? That's 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So this is going to reduce down to 8. There's not another a to put with that a to the 9th power. So what are you going to do? Bring it down. Keep it. Can't combine it with anything else. Now look at this one right here. Well, B's are going to combine, but you got to know the rule. When you divide numbers, you subtract the exponents on the variables. Okay, so it's like B negative 6 minus 12. The subtraction sign, I put that in there because that's the rule. When you divide variables, you subtract their exponents. Subtract means put a minus in between your two numbers. Okay, now go with it. So that's going to give you, okay, I keep my 8. I keep my a to the 9th. What's negative 6 minus 12? Negative 18. Okay, and you go, oh yeah, I remember all that, but you're not done. There's another rule that says you cannot leave negative exponents in your final answer. So what do you do to get rid of them? Draw a fraction bar line and move it down. So you go, okay, 8 is okay where it is. A to the 9th power is okay where it is. And then B to the 18th, lose the negative when you move it to the bottom. And that is one of your free answers. Aha! Okay, so in my next lesson, I'll try to go over exponents just another little bit in case you've forgotten those rules. Hey, you're doing great. Great, great, great. Let me get you today's homework. Today's Thursday. It's April the 23rd. Lesson 17. The first question reads like this. When graphing systems of equations, list the 3 situations. And then I give you 3 graphs. And, please use graph paper. If you don't have graph paper, the notebook paper with straight lines and hash marks that are evenly spaced apart. Okay, hope you got that. But if you didn't, guess what? I can text it to you.